Hindi po siya directly SMM related, pero how do you manage po yung process niya?
You know what, in freelancing talaga hindi nagde-the same yung sahod. Sometimes sa first month mo, 10 for example lang 10K lang. Tapos sa second month mo, naging 50K siya. Sa third month mo, bubaba siya ulit ng 25K. So, hindi talaga nagde-the same. It just depends sa mga projects na kukunin mo on that month, right? I would highly recommend first to build your emergency fund. I'm not sure if you already watched my videos talking about emergency fund, but the basic idea of it is just know how much is your monthly expenses and then times 6 mo yan. For example lang, every month, your monthly expenses is 20K. Lahat na yan, yung mga basic needs mo na yan. So, you are going to multiply that by 6 months, meaning kahit pa 6 months kang walang trabaho, makakasustain ka sa lifestyle na hindi ka talaga naghihirap. That's the first main thing to do when you are a freelancer, have an emergency fund. Siguro the second thing, aside from emergency fund, is especially if you are a breadwinner, get a life insurance. I think that's the main thing for finances ko. And you know what? May routine ako when it comes to finances ko. Every month talaga, nilalagay ko yung mga expenses ko for the whole month sa isang spreadsheet para makita ko kung how much talaga yung nalabas na money ko in just 1 month. So, dyan ko makikita kung kailangan ko ba magtipid next month or kailangan ko ba kumuha ng another project for next month, yung ganun.
Right.
So, yeah, it would be really nice to track your expenses every month kung saan ka sumobra. So, the next time, you can catch yourself up.
Wag mo na ito. Kasi gumastos na ako ng sobra last month.
Yeah.
How do you identify po yung prospect clients?
Okay.
How could you tell if this is a prospect client or hindi?
Kung pumasok siya sa category ng parang customer avatar mo, I'm not sure if nakagawa ka ng gumagawa ng customer avatar.
Is this your ideal client or ideal customer? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, diba, for example, nabe-based ka, kung ang gusto ko na client is, for example, mga coaches, you should have parang list of categories kung ano yung kind of coaches na i-entertain mo. Is it about the coaches ba na more on fitness? Nagtatalk about fitness? Ito ba yung coaches na merong course na binibenta? Mga yes or no lang, kahit nasasagot lang siya ng yes or no. You have to have this kind of list kung ano yung mga ideal clients mo. And then, ano ba yung mga target clients din na, or target customer ng clients? The more na alam mo din yung target clients nila, the more you can help them with their business. For example, if you can see that client when you are browsing on LinkedIn or maybe saan ka ba nagsosource out? LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook?
Sa Instagram and Facebook pa lang po.
Facebook, okay. So, for Instagram, you can always check there kung ano yung mga posts nila and yung mga nasa highlights nila. If nakikita mo,
okay, this client or this coach is pitching his or her courses.
So, check na yon. Check na yung checklist mo. Ang client ba nito, saan to siya nakatira? For example, you don't like working graveyard. Right now, di ba nag-work ka ng graveyard?
Opo. Kasi yung client ko sa New York sila, so I have to follow their time.
Yeah. Or you know what, sometimes if you are a social media manager, it doesn't really need na the same ka ng time kasi pwede mo namang mas-schedule yung post. I think that's also a good thing if you are a social media manager. Kung okay lang ba sa client na hindi ka the same time zone nila, if yes, check mo yun. If meron dong isa or dalawa na parang hindi pasok sa category, you can skip that and focus more on sa parang naka-target or na-check talaga yung yes nang nasa checklist mo. To be honest kahit pa na-check yan sa lahat, if you will really get to know or you are going to hop on a call sa client na yan, mafe-feel mo yung vibe ng client, mafe-feel mo malalaman mo kung matutulungan mo siya or hindi during the call. It's okay to parang back off kung feeling mo hindi mo bet maka-work yung client.
One last question po na I remember because of this conversation. Na-encounter ko po yung discovery call. Ano po usually yung mga dapat itanong sa
Discovery call.
Mm-mm.
Always make sure na hindi lang yung client yung nagtatanong about sa services mo, about sa anong kaya mong ma-help sa kanya. Always also ask kung ano yung goal pala niya sa business niya. Ano yung target market niya sa business niya. Ano yung mga processes na sinusundan niya. If you can see that the goal and the problems na nafe-face niya, feeling mo, pwede mo siyang ma-help doon. Pwedeng may magawa ka for her or for him na maging better yung business niya, then go for it. Previously, nung nagsa-start ako as a social media manager or even sa freelancing talaga, isa sa mga mistakes ko talaga kasi I let the client just ask lahat sa akin. Hindi ako nag-ask sa kanya. And it turns out na pag na-hire na ako, na-realize ko hindi ko pa talaga siya matutulungan.
Right.
Parang hindi pala talaga kami match. It's because hindi ako nagtanong. So, it's really important for you to decide then kung okay ba siya as client. Ayan, always ask kung ano yung problems niya na kailangan niya ng help, anong goal niya as an entrepreneur. And also, please just accept projects na in line sa mga values mo in life. So, if you think na yung business niya is parang off sa mga values mo, kahit pa naka-check yung checklist, lahat ng checklist is yes, back off. Back off na lang.
I think you talked about this po sa isang video niyo before, pero what's the first thing to ask a client once you get an offer or let's say you pass the initial interview?
Nag-initial interview na tapos hinire ka na ng client. Yan yung scenario. Okay, so if you are a social media manager the list of things na always ko ina-ask sa client is the brand kit. For example, wala siyang brand kit kasi some of the clients don't really have that. Make sure na lahat ng links, like for example, meron na siyang mga accounts na mga social media accounts niya, meron na siyang website. You can base all your content from that website. Pero you can, dapat sa initial call ninyo, na-talk about yun na kung ano yung goal. Kasi magbe-base yung mga content na ilalagay mo as a social media manager sa goal niya. You can't just put kahit ano-ano na hindi naman in line sa goal niya, right? For example, ang goal niya is to have a brand awareness, maraming mag-interact, maraming mag-follow sa account niya, tapos mag-buy ng mga products. And then, the things that you are going to ask is kung meron siyang mga raw pictures na gusto niya iisali sa mga content. You know what? A lot of clients hindi na mag-provide. So you have to find your own.
Okay.
So you have to find your own content. Just make sure na hindi siya copyrighted. Kung wala siyang budget for subscription ng mga Shutterstock, may mga bayad ng mga images or mga clips. Kung wala siyang budget for that, marami namang mga websites na for free yung mga clips you can get from there. For the caption din, meron ding mga clients na nagbibigay ng caption pero hindi ang image. So you have to source for the image tapos sila na yung magka-caption. Meron ding client na ikaw lahat, ikaw yung graphics, ikaw din yung caption, but they just really want to see kung ano yung plan mo na mga content, they will just check it. So, i-approve lang nila or magko-comment sila na ano yung gusto nila i-change doon. And then the other thing then na pwede mong i-ask is the link sa mga products nila, yung mga binibenta nila or yung mga services nila. If meron silang mga ibang landing pages, for example, website lang yung meron ka, pero may ibang landing page sila. Again, landing page is different sa website. Lahat ng mga assets nila kunin mo para you can repurpose it. For example, they have a YouTube channel. You can get a clips sa YouTube channel nila talking about this kind sa course nila na binibenta. You can just cut that part and then you will post it on Facebook or you will post it on their LinkedIn. Yung mga ganun. So, those are the things. And always have, for example, your target date na mag-post. For example, ngayon kayo discover call, August 23. Tapos, your target date na mag-post na nag-start is September 1. So, before September 1, dapat natapos mo na yung at least 2 weeks na content para meron pa siyang time na mag-check before ma-publish. Kasi baka marami pa siyang ipa-change tapos date na ipapublish na siya bukas, yung ganun. It's up to them then kung ano yung plan nila. Kung mag-post ba every day, every week, once a week lang or twice a week lang, yung ganun. Yeah, it depends sa discover call niyo kung ano yung napag-usapan niyo when it comes to content creation, the scheduling.
Yung mga so ngayon, how long do they usually need you? Ano po yung parang minimum months na kailangan kayo?
Actually, to be honest merong social media managers na service package based sila. Therefore, binabayaran sila per month to do this set of tasks. And then, kino-contract nila for 3 months. And after that, pag nagustuhan sila ng client, mag-o-offer na sila ng retainer. Pero kung hindi, tapos na yung contract. But in my case, it's every day for about how many years na nga ba? 4 years? So, it depends sa inyo ng client mo kung service package based ba na monthly ka babayaran for a certain task or per hour. Meron ding social media manager, nakita ko to sa Upwork, yung ginagawa lang niya. This is the good thing to offer then. We are also thinking then, my team are also thinking then to have this kind of offer na gagawa lang siya ng mga, gusto mo ba ng mga graphics or more on copywriting ka? Mas feel mo?
I think a little bit of both po. I don't think I'm more on something. Parang feeling ko ngayon, balance lang po.
Balance lang. That's nice. That's actually, yung nakita ko sa Upwork, it's more on, everything is graphics lang siya. A lot of social media posts, graphics lang. 30 social media graphics. Ang kuha niya is $99 for 30 social media graphics. Therefore, pwedeng mag-post ang client ng 1 post per day using that image na ipoproduce niya. Pero, hindi siya magagawa ng caption, hindi siya magagawa ng mga strategy or everything.
Purely templates lang po.
Purely graphics lang talaga. Tapos nagbibigay din siya ng template ng ginawa niya para pwedeng magamit ni client. So, actually, yung ganun, parang it's a product, you know? Parang mahulog siya na product. Hindi talaga siya service.
I think may nakita po ako kasi nag-check ako. May mga nagbebenta po ng 30-day po.
Yeah.
So, bahala na sila pong maglagay ng pictures nila. Basta ibigay lang yung access dun sa
Yeah, that's nice. Meron din ako nakikita doon na nakalimutan ko how much, pero ang offer niya is engagement for 1 week. Like, mag-engage lang siya, magkaka-comment, mag-respond, yung mga ganun lang. But that's a good service din na ibigay, right? Just for 1 week. Siguro just being creative lang kung ano yung mga i-offer mo.
True.
Client, and magdidepend yan siya by weekly ba or by monthly ba?
I think yun lang po yung questions ko. I just wanna share lang po na in one of your videos, you suggested na one way to get a client is yung parang for free po, beta clients. So, I did that one time po sa personal po. Sabi ko, hi, I'm looking for small business owners who would be interested to be my beta clients. Ganun. So, and then mga 10 minutes after may nag-respond dun sa isa sa mga followers ko. So, na-excite ako. Sabi niya, hi, we're in need of ganito kasi nga walang time ganyan. So, natuwa naman ako. Ngayon po, we're currently in the process of parang nagde-discuss po kami kung ano yung gagawin. So, I just wanna share na it's because of your advice na for mga beta clients. So,
that's nice, yeah. Sometimes, you know what ba? Nag-chichika na naman ako. Oh my God. Ano ba? Kailangan ko ba mag-out? You know what? Napansin ko, yung mga successful freelancers or even mga entrepreneurs talaga, these are the people na who are really willing to work for free at first just to see if ano yung market. Sorry pero some of the coaches would not really recommend doing that kind of thing, to be honest lang. I think that would be a good start para sa mga aspiring and newbie freelancers to really see if gusto niyo ba talaga yung task na yun. Kasi you are doing it for free Or maybe if you are not doing it for free, in a discounted rate. So parang matitest if you really like that kind of job. Kasi you are doing it. If you can really maximize that time na meron kang beta or test client ngayon na matuto from that experience, you will have a long way talaga na magiging successful ka talaga when you are so open to learn. Kung meron kang feeling mo,
parang I have to adjust this process kasi mas natatagalan kami dito.
even getting test clients, parang ano sa kanila, parang nahihirapan sila. Tapos I told them, pwede naman kayo sa mga relatives or friends niyo na may business, that maybe you can handle their account, or maybe you can just ask someone sa LinkedIn or sa Instagram or maybe sa Facebook groups kasi marami ding entrepreneurs sa mga Facebook groups. As a freelancer, you will just have to have a heart na hindi din madaling ma-discourage when you can receive no. Kasi sometimes madali tayo na-discourage if ma-reject yung proposal natin. If you can control your emotions, magiging unstoppable ka talaga. Okay lang, ma-reject. Meron pang iba. Try again next time.
On my part po, since I'm, very interested and I'm willing to work for it po, I couldn't afford po right now to yung mga courses na in-offer ng mga courses. So, I opted for your advice po na maghanap na lang po ng mga willing din na test clients. Fortunately, they also do not have enough funds po to hire someone, ganun. So, ayun. It worked naman po.
Yes, that's nice. Parang the same lang kayo ng situation na hindi ka din pa muna magka-afford ng mga paid courses for now. But you know what? I would highly eventually, if natutunan mo na yung mga basics talaga, tapos nag-slowly earn ka na when it comes to social media management, I would highly recommend that you go for a kind of parang advanced course na parang mas maging level up pa yung skills mo. I can really see na malaki yung potential mo kasi right now you are really taking an action sa mga natutunan mo, and I'm so happy to know that. Bust up ka talaga kasi yan yung parang goal ng community natin na to really take an action once you learn something from it. So, yun na, wala nang additional questions. Don't worry kasi if ever you have follow-up questions, doon ka sa Bossa PH page, mag-message or kay Sess directly. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure po to, get a consultation with you.
Yeah.
And congrats po sa 20K subs on
yay!
YouTube.
Thank you so much. Then, it's because of you talaga na the reason na lumaki ang subscribers natin kasi napipick up yun ni YouTube kung maraming nagwa-watch ng video.
Thank
Hopefully,
you.
nakakuha ka ng value sa mga sinabi ko.
Yes
Thank
po.
you so much. Bye!
Sa inyo din po and more power to you, Boss Up
Thank you.
PH. Thank you po.